News. Welcome back to Eyewitness News. 9 days to the election proper. And after signing the peace pact, the candidates have resumed their campaigns. The NDC presidential candidate John Dramani Mahama is expected to wrap his Greater Accra campaign today in selected constituencies including Adenta, Ayawaso East, Ayawaso North, Ayawaso Central, and Ayawaso West Wogon. John Mahama's nationwide campaign has been hinged on the party's key promises, including the introduction of a 24-hour economic policy, the establishment of a women's development bank, and a strategy to tackle corruption among public office holders. Now let's go to the phone line and speak to my colleague, Fauzu Masaudu, who has been following the NDC trail for some updates. Hello, Fauzu Masaudu. Good evening. Welcome to Eyewitness News. Where exactly are you and what's happening there?
Good evening, Salom. It's been a very packed day for NDC flag bearer John Dramani Mahama. We know that he's wrapping up his Greater Accra campaign today, and this follows a similar activity in the Western region. Today, John Dramani Mahama started his itinerary by paying a courtesy visit to the Ghana Traditional Council. From there, he joined his, counterparts from the other political parties to sign a peace pact. But currently, we are en route at Denton, where he's expected to engage the community on the key proposals of the NDC's 2024 manifesto. We know that the Adenta constituency, for instance, has been a swing constituency, but for this time, John Dramani Mahama is seeking to break that trend, specifically for the NDC. So this is what we have been up to. From here, he'll be headed to the Baoleshi Park at the Ayawaso West Wogon constituency. He's also expected to hold a mini rally at Ayawaso Central. In fact, all the Ayawaso constituencies, so Ayawaso West, Ayawaso North, Ayawaso Central, and Ayawaso East as well.
How is he
wrap up the day at Ododo.
I see. How is he going to do all of this today? He just finished the peace pact signing and he's going to do about 6 or 7 constituencies today. I mean, before he continues tomorrow elsewhere. How is he planning to do all of this today?
Yeah, so I mean, that has actually been the nature of John Dramani Mahama's campaign. Even at 4 a.m., you see him, on the campaign grounds. At 3 a.m., you see him doing so. But he is very, very bent on, executing all the schedules for today, because tomorrow he's scheduled to begin his campaign in the Ashanti region. So today, John Dramani Mahama and his team are definitely not resting until they are done and through with today's schedule.
All right, thanks so much, Masaudu. Fauzu Masaudu, thanks so much for bringing us up to speed on what's been happening in the NDC trail, or on the NDC trail. Thanks so much for speaking to us. As you just heard, John Mahama is wrapping up his Greater Accra regional campaign today with visits or stops at Adenta, Ayawaso East, Ayawaso North, Ayawaso Central, and Ayawaso West Wogon. And as you just heard from Fauzu, he'll be doing Odududu as well. Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM. Akusia.
And President Akufo-Addo has urged the people of New Joburg South to vote massively for the New Patriotic Party's flag bearer, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, and the NPP come December 7. According to Nanado, he is yet to find a single fault with the Vice President after working with him for the past 16 years.
Katragano for Sahara the President of the Moko, no Prinsoa, and the Honsoa, no the Moko. Bawumia, loyal, 16 years. It's with Namachi, and I have nothing to fear because I have somebody who's loyal, who's honest, who is competent.
So you heard that from President Akufo-Addo.
Nine days to the elections. The candidates are crisscrossing the country. And the place to be is 97.3 Citi FM and Channel 1 Television. The Election Bureau, with regular updates on our socials. We'll take a short break. When we return, Citi Business News will be up next.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens. Get the details. Every significant financial transaction, every market movement, and all the policies that affect your business. Citi Business News. Be informed.
Time now for Citi Business News on Eyewitness News. I am Akusia Ochi. The details. The Bank of Ghana is set to announce its final monetary policy rate for the year this Friday after wrapping up its 121st monetary policy meetings, which focused on inflation trends and the overall state of the economy. However, stakeholders in the business community are anticipating a reduction in the lending rate. The executive chairman of the Food and Beverages Association of Ghana, John Awuni, has been speaking to Citi Business News.
The expectation is that the rates will drive down further. As we all know, the interest rates are still kind of quite high in the country. Look at other jurisdictions in the world. You have interest rates hovering between 3, 4, 5%, 6%. And so when you still have to deal with interest rates over 20, even in some cases 30%, what one expects is that the governor of the Bank of Ghana and their team, the monetary team, will do their best to still drive this interest rate lower so that it can reflect in the business environment. Because if the borrowing rate is very high, that means that people are not going to have be able to borrow in order to be able to invest. And that's going to have a negative effect on the economy. So we are hoping that the new monetary rates will go down.
That was John Awuni, Executive Chairman of the Food and Beverages Association of Ghana. Now, players in the energy sector are urging Springfield E&P to pursue the unitization of E&I for joint production or seek strategic partnerships to drive its operations forward. It follows the successful appraisal of the Afina well, which has confirmed the commercial viability of the well. While speaking to Citi Business News, energy strategist Dr. Yusuf Sulemana described the development as a game changer for Ghana's upstream petroleum sector.
Springfield, they have been in this unitization tussle for quite some time now. I've always called for the fact that they need to channel what they call a dynamic data, not this static data that they had before they went to the court. And of course, that's why it wasn't easy with them. So if actually it's proven beyond reasonable doubt, especially from an independent expert, that the findings are something recoverable, the findings are something that is hugely significant, I think that's also another case for them to go forward with the unitization. Worst case scenario, they go solo. And going solo means that the field is not an easy field. So it means that Springfield, they have to be able to partner with people who are already experienced in the industry. I've always mentioned that in this industry, there are two things that are involved that is required to keep the industry running. One, the state know-how, the state of art technology required, and then the financial wherewithal. I've put the financial wherewithal as topmost priority because with finance, you can always get the technology anywhere, anyhow. So yes, with Springfield being a local player and then the field not being an easy field, I think if they are going to go solo, then they need to partner with an agency that has credibility in producing oil in those kind of fields, in those kind of terrains.
That was energy analyst Dr. Yusuf Sulemana. Now, Ghana's economy is showing signs of recovery years after economic crisis led to a debt default. However, the aftermath of a domestic debt restructuring continues to weigh heavily on prospects for sustained growth. Now, with the country entering the final phase of an election year, financial analysts are urging the government to exercise fiscal discipline to avoid further economic strain. Banking consultant Dr. Richmond Ituyahine has been speaking on this matter.
The way we are going, because you have postponed your debt to 2026, 2027, but what are we doing to ensure that on maturity you can pay, you can get the money to pay? Absolutely, we are doing nothing. Except that we are talking. But when you owe somebody and you postpone your payment, it doesn't mean he's forgiving you. You're going to pay this interest and principal the years to come. That if we don't put our house right by disciplining ourselves, control, seriously expenditure control. A country like Ghana, you don't expect going to crisis, you carry the same ministers with V8 and petrol. No. Other than that, the debt estimate is a elusive. Let me read it. It's elusive, and I'm prophesying, not prophesying, from empirical point. If you don't take care, by 2 years' time, we will have another deficit because we haven't taken it serious in planning how we want to create space. We haven't. Your currency is running. Inflation is on the trajectory, going up. And instead of you thinking about what productive issues, at least start with the expenditure cut. Begin to give incentive to stopping importation of rice and all these waste.
Dr. Richmond Ituahine is a banking consultant. Now, the Public Interest and Accountability greater commitment to its industrialization agenda. Well, this follows PIAC's 2024 semi-annual report, which revealed that no petroleum revenue was allocated to the industrial sector in the first half of the year, despite its designation as a priority area for funding. PIAC coordinator Isaac Dramina, speaking on Time with PIAC, urged the government to align petroleum revenue disbursements with the outlined priority areas.
We have never even thought of any worries at all because people comes from the home where they've never even sat in throttle before, moving from their private car to get a taxi. And there are some people who has never even hired a taxi before. They've also been all this while they're using throttle. So as passengers as they are, they choose to join any vehicle that they deem necessary. Electric cars has come, and we were told distance that will take 10 cities, they will take 5 cities. Well, it is the passenger who has to decide. And I don't think, imagine from Adenta to Accra, all passengers bound from Adenta to Accra would like to board the electric cars. Are you saying if the electric car moves from Adenta to Accra and uses 3 hours, the passenger will be waiting for the electric car because the price is quite lower than the throttle? The answer is no.
That was Isaac Dramina, coordinator for the Public Interest and Accountability Committee, PIAC. Now, the Ghana Private Road Transport Union, GPRTU, has ruled out threats of competition following the introduction of reduced fares by operators of the newly launched fleet of electric buses in the country. The EV buses are expected to cut transportation costs and offer an eco-friendly mobility alternative. But GPRTU is confident that their business will remain afloat. Abasi Muro is the Industrial Relations Officer of the GPRTU. Nearly half of Ghana's listed companies are falling short of environmental, social and governance reporting compliance. A recent KPMG survey reveals that 48% of firms on the Ghana Stock Exchange are yet to meet ESG disclosure requirements.
According to the survey, industries such as beverages, mobile telecommunications and oil and gas show full compliance, whereas mining and food production industries report non-compliance rates of 67 and 33% respectively. Key findings from the survey indicates that only 45% of listed companies have integrated sustainability into board responsibilities, while less than half have adopted global recognized standards like the Global Reporting Initiative or Sustainability Accounting Standards Boards. Carbon reduction targets are included in reports by about 45% of companies, signaling an emerging focus on climate action. However, only 39% consider biodiversity loss as a business risk. To bridge this gap, the report emphasizes actions such as stricter guidelines and incentives for ESG compliance, capacity building, materiality assessment, board level commitment, and stakeholder engagement.
That was Emmanuel Opong with that business desk report. And that's it for Citi Business News on Eyewitness News. I am Akusia Orchid. Stay with us. Up next is Point Blank.
Welcome to Point Blank on Eyewitness News. My name is Selom Adonu. Tonight on Point Blank, we bring you a playback of a presentation by Ace Anand and Kuma on social media use and its implication. He gave the presentation at the African Media Bureau, an event held earlier today. Let's take a listen.
I talk for a living, so when my time is up, wave at me so I can ignore you. Social media, the legal risks. I will speak about all the legal risks I know about. Some may not be election related, some may be. Pick what you like, the ones you don't like, throw away. Okay, but I'm going to give you everything that I know about it, maybe. That's my content. Copyright, defamation, privacy, relating to cyber crimes and data protection, and then confidentiality, non-disclosure, and non-compete clauses. I sort of will skip that, and then I'll give some advice. Copyright. The problem we have now is what I call the ease and danger of cut and paste. There was a time when it was difficult to reproduce material. If you wanted to reproduce music, you needed a cassette and something to play from. Now, it's on your phone. It's easy. You can cut any part of a song or a video and post it. So there's the ease, but the ease comes with the danger. Now remember that all literary work, artistic, musical, sound recordings, audio-visual, choreographic work, derivative work, computer softwares or programs are copyrighted, whether or not the person has registered his or her copyright. There's a copyright on it. You just can't use it. And that is why a lot of you are getting, when you post something with music, Facebook will block the sound and notify you. You have to go and justify that the music is yours. I put my own music there, Facebook blocked it. So I sent back to them that this is my song. Before they unblocked it, I posted something with the Ghana national anthem. They blocked the sound. I had to tell them, I'm a citizen of Ghana. Why can't I use my national anthem? Before they are aware of this. So be careful when in the middle of the election you are posting things that are copyrighted material. Somebody will take you on, and the fact that we are in an elections time is no excuse, is no defense. But of course, what is not protected are ideas, concepts, procedures, methods, etc. Those are not protected. Now remember that somebody who wants a copyright has what is called an exclusive economic right. That is the right, and so you are not allowed to do it. The right to reproduce, translate, adapt, arrange, transform, perform publicly, broadcast, communicate publicly, distribution, and commercial rental. You can't do any of these things to material that is not yours. Is it coming home? Do I see a lot of guilty faces here? I think so. I'm beginning to see some guilty antenna. It's not yours. If the person takes you on, being an election time is no excuse. There's also the moral right to claim authorship, demand acknowledgement, object to and seek relief for any distortion, mutilation, or other modification that it may be prejudicial to the owner's reputation, or where the work is discredited by the act of another person. These are moral rights they have that the law protects. I'll refer you to the case of Rex Owusumafo versus Joy Industries Limited. If you don't know who Rex Owusumafo is, that's Rex Omar, the musician. What did the Court of Appeal say? That the use of the tune or melody and some of the lyrics of his song da da di da 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 di da di da da di 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 da da di di da da di da, and Joy Industries use it to advertise their Joy Daddy Bitters. And he said, what? The court said the use of the tune and melody and some of the lyrics was an infringement of the plaintiff's copyright. By the time we're done with the Court of Appeal, so you can imagine I was involved, 230,000 cedis in damages and costs. Rex is a rich man. Next time you see him, ask for money. Rex, I've sold you out. Everybody knows. Right? So you just can't use people's work. You can't, it can't even come close. The test the Court of Appeal said is that if somebody hears it, will the person's mind be directed to this other song? Then that's the objective test. And so in the election time, as you are using people's stuff, begin to ask yourself, is this something that is protected, or can the person come after me? At least in this one, I can tell you that it was 230,000 cedis. Yours may be more or less. Let's go to defamation. A person is defamed when there's a statement. First, there must be a statement that tends to lower the person's estimation in the right-thinking members, lower a person in the estimation of the right-thinking members of society, causes them to be shunned or avoided, exposes them to hatred, ridicule, conveys an imputation of crime or other wrongdoing on them. Basically, when you dig the person, you have defamed the person. There are two forms. Slander is when it's just spoken or in gestures, and libel is when it is written or legible. There's a more recent case of Dufour versus Bank of Ghana and Daily Graphic. In fact, so Bank of Ghana was taken out, and the Daily Graphic fought this case, and finally the Supreme Court of Appeal and Supreme Court said that they hadn't defamed him. But some of what the judges said is very important to us. It says that it's Daily Graphic, but luckily you won. It says that it says with the advent of social media, so now the judges are very much aware of this. With the advent of social media and online news dissemination, it has become much easier for any libelous content to go viral and spread beyond unimaginable boundaries. Remember, the little thing you do can spread beyond unimaginable boundaries. I'll tell you what, I was flying to Accra from London. The flight delayed, so they asked us to go back. They were going to call us. As I was walking back, I saw a piano